About Angel Reese.
I know you do, and I'm going to tell you a little story.
I'm always going to want to talk about her, so please tell me your story time.
Well, I'm a bit of a convert. I reckon you've changed my view, as in shifted my view. So I had a really interesting experience on this. So first of all, Victoria's Secret runway, I'm going to ask you about that in a minute. But I went to a movie on Sunday night with my daughter, a movie called The House of Diamond.
Yes.
The House of Dynamite, I should say. Idris Elba, amazing cast. And who's in the middle of it? But Angel Reese. And she was, first of all, playing herself, sort of in a basketball charity clinic for kids. But she was just fantastic, to be honest. And in the movie, I'm thinking, I just didn't know she was in it.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, this is an incredible movie. Netflix, being released on Netflix on Friday. So tell me about the last week for her, because and I know we talked about her in the earlier podcast.
Briefly, we did, yes. Look, a year ago, I watched a video yesterday and she said, I manifested this. And I remember seeing videos about a year ago where she said, someday I'm going to do the Victoria's Secret runway show. And she also said, I'm going to be on the cover of Vogue. And she's achieved both those things, which is very rare as an athlete, let alone a female athlete, to cover Vogue, to be on the cover of Vogue and to be in the Victoria's Secret runway. She looked stunning. She looked beautiful.
I say it? So
You're allowed to say that she looked beautiful. I'd be upset if you didn't.
She was just beautiful.
Yeah.
And Victoria's Secret has evolved itself over the last 10 years.
It's had so much criticism over the years, but it has changed.
But why do you think people hate on her? Because it just seemed to me like something to celebrate.
Absolutely. I think part of it is to do with the world not being able to embrace confidence in the same way with different people. And depending who brings that confidence and that energy, it gets taken in a very different light. And I think an easy one to explain it was, is it Lyle? Noah Lyle, who's a sprinter from the US. There's a level of ego and confidence that was coming from him before all those achievements were being made. Whereas you've got others who are a lot more silent in their movement, silent in their achievements and their expression of how they achieve things. And I think when it comes to females in general, we're expected to be more meek and mild. And when you see us being loud and just strong, it's seen negatively. And I think the beautiful thing with Angel and with some of these female athletes is they're showing strength in beauty, or beauty in strength. And being an athlete, you've got an athlete's body, but you're still a woman, and you're able to go and be feminine and be beautiful, and showcase a different side of yourself that people don't see on the court. And I think that juxtaposition of an athlete on the court and then a runway model, regardless of what they're wearing, it's so different. And some people can't comprehend that. Like, what, you can be into multiple things. You can like multiple things. You can be feminine and you can be a boss-ass athlete. That's crazy. It's not. It's just that some personality types make it easier to accept than others. And Reese has been confident from the beginning. I want to just say a couple stats about her when it comes to how she's been, not just on the court.
And then we might talk a little bit about how lucky the game is to have two.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So when it comes to her social presence and what she's achieved, even in the last 18 months, at the moment she's got 4.2 million followers on Instagram. She's had an extra million since the NCAA finals.
Is that right?
An extra million just since those finals. Top 5 in all colleges, nil earnings, her valuation's over 1.8 million. First year WNBA, in her first year, her WNBA jersey sold out online within 48 hours.
Wow.
That alone should be celebrated.
They need more jerseys, though.
Absolutely. According to the Sports Business Journal for the 2025 article, nearly 60% of Gen Z WNBA fans say Angel Reese was their entry point to the league. So the reason why they've started watching and supporting WNBA and women's basketball is because of Angel Reese. 60%. That's huge.
It is huge. In fact, that number probably surprises me, to be honest. I imagined it would be as much Caitlin as her. My reflection on it, I have thought a bit about this particularly since the conversation we had earlier. I just think the women's game is fortunate and should recognise how fortunate to have 2 or 3 or 4, because Paige Beckers will be another one who comes through in a different way.
She's fantastic.
So And this is all good for the growth
Yeah.
because one of the things that you just have to have more eyeballs, people noticing, watching. And what struck me about seeing her in those two things in the last week was she's mainstream.
Yeah.
And that is incredible.
She's managed to commercialize her, in a good way, her personality, her brand. She's not just, there will be people that will know her, not because of basketball.
Yeah.
And that in itself is incredible. You look at the LeBrons and the Kobes and all the sort of things they've managed to achieve outside of the game. These WNBA athletes, they have the opportunity to do that if they have, one, the right branding, the right marketing, the right agents and teams working with them. And if they've got a personality like Reese, why would you hide that? Why would you sit back and let the world take that away from you just so that you can fit into the box that they want you to fit in as you're an athlete, be an athlete.
So it'll be interesting what she does in the off-season because she's not playing in... It doesn't appear like she's going to play in Unrivaled. And the other bit is, I imagine, she's had a very big 5 years on the court. So let's follow that. Lots to follow.
I'll be following.